I appreciate Lauren dying on cue. That's perfect. Right. Hello and welcome to Dungeons and Dragons: A Darkened Wish, the series finale. This is the end for our young heroes. Season 3, episode 10. I close my eyes to old ends. Now let us meet said heroes. Starting. Let's go over here with a real life warrior hero, D'Artagnan.
What? You flatter me. Hi, I'm D'Artagnan, Mattaliano, and I am playing the human fighter Xander, or Duke Xander, or DX, or Dookie Duke, Young Dukerson. It's, it goes by many names.
when you're DX, I'm just like... I love we made it this far before we landed on that. Only now, at the end, did we realize, right? Palpatine was right all along.
Yeah.
Alcuin.
I'm Alcuin Gersh, and I'm playing Rayonde, the Dragonborn Shadow Monk.
Excellent, Sam.
I don't have any cool nicknames, though, so...
I mean, we could just call you, like, A-Town.
I mean, that's me, though. It would be our town if it was...
That is true. Our town was a band. No, that was O-Town. Wait, I feel like there was an R-Town also, but if not, there should be. So there you go. Yeah.
The show.
So you're not just a dragonborn, you're the dragon boy, like BOI, dragon boy.
That's right.
True. Yeah. Sam.
Leve. I'm playing Aiden, the Asthma Rogue, Heartbreaker, Life Taker.
Aki.
Hi everybody, I am Aki and I am playing Karrin and Kerrin, your cleric wood elves.
Which again, having brought all these outsiders to the Holy Land of Sarafal, only to have a demon lord appear, has got to just be just a great day for our fair twins.
Nothing went wrong. Everything went according to plan. This is fine.
And
I have 7 spell slots.
Just make them count. You just gotta make them count. That's all. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Although you did reveal to us before we went live here the disturbing realization that you do not have Toll the Dead, though. So,
He's never ever bothered to pack that one.
I'm going to go ahead and say if they make it out of this, they probably will going forward. And last but certainly not least, May.
Hi there, I am Mayleigh Damage, playing Helene, the fiery red wizard warlock, who is also a human. Not a human fighter, but a human wizard. She doesn't like to fight humans.
You take on all kinds. You're an indiscriminate fireball hurler, I feel. You don't differentiate. Yeah. Now, I understand when we discussed who was going to be the recaptain here for our final episode, we arrived that it was going to be a bit of a team effort. Then correct? So then I would request the lovely Aki perhaps start us off in this group endeavor.
Okay, sure. I believe we started off last session with the group finally leaving the island drenched in darkness, having struck a deal with Confrontation, and reboarding the Wish and deciding how they wanted to get to Gwyneth, because when we got on the boat, we realized there was a whole armada from Omn heading to where we were, and we were like, no thanks, no. Figured we might as well go ahead and hit up High Lady Ordolph and see if maybe she could help us, but we also had to decide how we wanted to do that. With the advice of Helene and the twins, we decided that we were going to become a ghost ship and sally forth through the ethereal plane at high speed to get there.
If we die at the end of all this, I die a happy man. I have happened to ghost ship.
Yeah.
There was some sort of whale or something, but since the twins didn't see that, I have no details about what happened with that. So if somebody else knows what that was all about.
Helene banished that, actually. We could barely see it, but Helene banished it, and that's what counts.
I may have sent it to Daddy Asmodeus.
Yeah, as a gift. Right. Cool. There was some sickeningly cute pottery happening in the hold. I don't know. Like
Ghost
and some
reference on
and
Ghost
some
ship.
and some Titanic
Ghost
mess.
Inception.
Yeah, some Titanic mess happening as well. In any case, we got to Gwyneth, and there was some sort of altercation happening, I believe, between the prince, who was the son of High Lady Ordolph, and some shadow elves. I think that's right.
There's a bit of a civil war thing happening when we arrived there. We had to very quickly pick sides, which we did with great alacrity. And there was some of those shadow elves were quite kinky, and one of them was doing a bit of vine whip choking on the young prince. I say young, but I assume that, like most elves, he is hundreds of years old. So,
definitely older than the twins.
Yeah, and older than me, conceivably. So there you go, young whippersnapper. Yeah, and we decided who to help. I mean, I thought we were pretty clear about that. The Duke, however, did do some tree killing, and I'm still not entirely clear whose side the trees were on. Were those evil trees, or were they good trees?
They looked like evil trees. I like to whack the bushes every once in a while, so.
Oh. So we were able to shut down and silence them and eliminate them and chase what was left of them off. And we were able to convince, with the help of the twins' elven diplomacy, to convince this prince to let us see his mum, dear old mum.
And by convince, the twins and the prince both rolled natural ones. And so there was just sort of like, I guess we did the thing. Everybody was blindfolded and led to this secret place. So those of us with blind sense are just going to have to take that secret with them to their grave, which may be this place, considering what happened next. Because I think that somebody got left a message by a certain someone that opened up a portal to hell or something like that. I don't know, Helene. You know anything about that? Yeah.
I mean, I feel really that is on us, because we had discussed that this message was in fact more than just a message and some sort of trap for Lady Ordolph,
Yeah, we never opened it or looked at it. We just.
I mean, that would have been rude,
But High Lady Ordolph opened it and looked at it, and I thought she was supposed to be like this all-knowing, wise elf, and yet fell into one of the oldest tricks in the book.
It's true. I don't feel entirely responsible for what happened. Partially.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody specifically to blame for this. This feels like just sort of blanket blame can be laid sort of everywhere. But it doesn't really matter, because now there's a god demon thing in
Devil
here. And yeah, that's where we left off. Oh, one thing we know about him, though, is that apparently he's very full of himself, and he likes to have his ego stroked. And I don't know anyone better at stroking anything than one rogue, Aasimar.
Well, I think that's all the recap we need.
Well, I mean, we do have some things in our favor we could pull out. I mean, the Duke did make a deal with a Dracolich, so we've got that in our back pocket.
How do I summon him, actually?
B. Dave, my good sir, I think you're muted.
Do I click my heels a few times and wish for him?
That is not at all how that works. And also, you all more or less covered pretty much all of it, except for just one teeny tiny detail, that when Asmodeus arrived there, the Supreme Master of the Nine Hells, the Lord of Lies, the Prince of Evil, made his presence known. He did seem very happy to see your red wizard and might have asked her to kill you all. And with that, let's get on with our story. You all stand here in the kingdom of Sorrowfall. It is exquisite and breathtaking to behold. You are some of the only non-elven visitors to have come here in centuries, possibly ever. And yet your fascination with the landscape and the architecture is very much cut short. As after having been granted an audience with High Lady Ordolf, who is wise, powerful, imposing, and statuesque, and having handed her the letter from Lady Eliza, it did simply say, essentially, thank you, and that the deal had been struck, essentially, by having come here. And immediately a portal opened up, and out of which a towering figure stepped out. Asmodeus stands 14 feet tall and is simultaneously breathtakingly beautiful, yet horrific. His face is gorgeous, his horns long and curled, his finery exquisite, worth more than entire kingdoms. His red and blue silk robes are, and yet his body is wounded and bleeds constantly from cuts and scrapes and injuries he's suffered in times long past. And as he steps out of a nearby shadow, and High Lady Ordolf takes a step backwards, and her son, Prince of Wraith, tries to interpose himself between her and the Demon Lord, he has issued his command to Helene. Helene, how do you respond?
Am I able to fight it at all?
He does not. It is not a mental effect. It's just he's, in a way, the only family you've ever known besides your experience of the last couple of days. But to be clear, he is not charming you. He is not dominating you. He's just like, my girl, good work. Kill them all.
I kind of like look over at Rayonde and try and give him like a little wink, like to let him know that everything's going to be okay. And I cast, I'm going to cast a low level Eldritch Blast, actually, not Fireball. I'm going to do an Eldritch Blast and kind of aim between everybody, like, oops, I missed, but to kind of make him think that I'm still doing what he told me to do.
A little bit of a warning shot, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
All right, do this for me. I'm going to let you do... First, we're going to do two things. I'm going to let you essentially willingly roll with disadvantage to make sure that you miss. But then I'm going to need you to give me a performance check to see how convincing you are in here. Because here's the problem, Helene. You're a trained killer. Even trying not to hurt somebody does not come easily. So you're like, don't shoot him. Don't shoot him. Okay.
The 12 with disadvantage, which really sucks because I rolled a natural 20 on the other one.
See, but you really do a fantastic job of blowing up like a 6,000-year-old pavilion over there. Just
Can I assist with this? And then, like, Eldritch Blast usually has multiple bolts, right?
Usually, I'll include these all in the one, but yes,
Can I use my Shadow Arts to cast Minor Illusion to make it look like there is an extra bolt of one of hers that hits me?
You can, and for that, I will let Helene roll her performance with advantage.
Nice.
Exactly. As you have finally slain the gazebo, Helene, all this time, you finally got it. The gazebo is no more. A dirty 20. So, last thing, I need Karrin, Kerrin, Aiden, and Xander give me insight checks. Did you all buy this little theater, or did she just turn and blast Rayonde? Let's see.
And the gazebo.
And the gazebo. The gazebo was the true enemy.
26, and frankly, the gazebo had it coming. It knows that it did.
Okay.
13, and that gazebo was 6,000-year-old mahogany. How could you?
I get A natural one. What's a gazebo?
It's dead. It's dead. Is what it is.
You missed the gazebo, but you saw instead your best friend across the ages,
just
ignited with eldritch fire.
Takes one in the chest. With that being said,
I'm hamming it up too. I am going to collapse on the ground and just really ham it up.
Karrin, Kerrin, Xander, who this person you thought was your friend, who you literally harrowed hell itself to rescue, has betrayed you. Aiden, you know a con when you see one. And with that, everybody roll initiative.
I always knew it. Helene was going to betray us from day one.
Statistically speaking, there was only one outcome for this. All right, hold on a second here.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Literally that.
I got an 18. Why didn't I get that on the insight?
Give me just 1 second. I'm not quite ready yet. Okay, Helene.
30.
All right. G-Spy, Xander.
18.
All right, the twins.
17.
Okay, I wrote that twice. Aiden.
26.
26. I wrote Helene twice, but did not write Rayonde because they are one and the same in my mind. Rayonde.
I got a 19.
19. Okay. Let me just double check something here for our nasty boy. Okay. And boom. Oh, +5. Apologies, everyone. There's a lot of numbers over here. Okay, so he's.
I mean, it's fine. We're gonna finish this in one round anyway, so you know.
I'm just gonna run him over. No, I get it.
He's only a god, right?
It's just like it's for you guys, it's Tuesday, or in our case, Thursday. I'm just arranging everybody properly. Okay. I had to bring back the robe so that we would end as we began. However, there's a hole in one of these sleeves because I hooked it on one of these handles. So that's why I'm all like, if you see me being very indelicate of trying to keep it out of the way.
Oh, it's dear Liza.
I know.
Dear Lady or Liza, there's a hole in your robe.
If I was wearing my pearls, I would clutch them. Helene, you have succeeded, as far as you can tell, with this little bit of a theatricality. You've seen that the bolt has apparently hit Xander square in the chest, or not Xander, sorry, Rayonde square in the chest. You also have destroyed a priceless artifact, to tell you the truth, but that's of arguable significance to you. What would you like to do?
I am going to cast Mirror Image on myself and duplicate myself a little bit just in case anybody does end up turning around and coming for me. I'm not quite sure which one they're coming for.
Perfect. You see Asmodeus looks down at you and he just says, "Oh, you are beautiful to behold, my child. I see the prime material plane agrees with you. Perhaps I will leave you to rule it in my stead."
I mean, anytime you would like me to just take all this over for you, I'm here for that. Did you get the Leviathan I sent you, by the way? Were you able to pick that up?
I did. And you see he looks down at Rayonde's body there, smoking still as he is writhing in traumatic agony. And he just looks at all of you and says, "I am known by many names, the Lord of Nessus, the Raging Fiend. but you all know me as Asmodeus. There is still time. I can elevate all of you as I have elevated Helene. I've helped her rid herself of sentiment and other weaknesses and achieve her true power. As great as she is, and as all-powerful as I am, I will still need other warlords to help bring this plane to its knees. If you would but bow, you need not be utterly eradicated. Helene, was there anything else besides your mirror image?
I think that's all I can do. That is one action.
Okay. So just to paint the scene a little bit, you all are kind of in a bit of a almost like a kind of like an open air amphitheater-ish type area with him kind of standing there, you know, very much opposed from the rest of the group. Helene, are you attempting to kind of be with the group or move towards him, kind of be in the middle?
I would be in the middle. I'm probably with my back to Asmodeus, kind of looking at the rest of the group. And when I can, kind of try and do crazy eye contact eyes, like, it's just go along with it.
It's as you know what? Give me quick perception, Helene.
It's 18.
You know Rayonde got it. Aiden seems like he's in on it. Karrin, Kerrin, Xander, Ordolf, and a Wraith all don't seem like they get it. There's ice in all of their eyes.
Yeah. I'm gonna stand with my back still to Asmodeus because I feel like if they try to come for me before I can like make eye contact and kind of get the point across to them that Asmodeus probably is going to have my back on this to not let me get hurt.
Perfect. Aiden, your turn.
I lock eyes with the wide eyes. Try to see if they're launching to anywhere like I can read the playbook that she's going for. But for want of it, I buy time, and so Lord of Nessus, Raging Fiend, Asmodeus. As you can tell from my visage, I have already fallen somewhat not a little lower. Please have faith in your servant that she is not only a great avatar of destruction, but a great leader of people. I'd happily follow in her footsteps, in her example, and would want nothing more on this pitiful material plane than to know what such an all-powerful being would have of us here and throughout the prime material. Please, I beg of you, tell me what service you require.
Give me persuasion with advantage.
All right.
Because, of course, Asmodeus is like, yeah, of course, obviously, I'm incredible.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. All right, that's a 34 from me, baby.
You do see he sort of slides his hands down his robes and he says, of all of them that remained, I had the highest hopes for you, Captain. The oceans of this world are vast and deep. Perhaps it will be you that will carry my standard forth across the waves. But he leans down slightly towards you and he says, I'm aware of your certain sentimental connection to these other ones. You do, of course, realize if they do not cooperate, they may require correction.
I can't imagine they would possibly be so unwise, my lord, not when faced with your might and power. And I just glance backward over the shoulder.
Xander, Karrin, and Kerrin, give me insight with disadvantage. You guys are already mad, and you're like, maybe Aiden just sold us out.
I'm just hearing this. Like, everyone is ditching me right now. Betrayal!
There's a chance you'll get it. Let's see.
You said insight with disadvantage?
Insight with disadvantage. Yep.
All right.
You guys have seen Aiden save his own tail plenty of times. So let's see here.
I wish it had been at advantage because I rolled a natural 20, but it is in total for the twins at 18.
It's a dirty 20 for me, which I'm okay with. I'm also okay with you saying I fail it.
You know what though? That 34 persuasion is pretty convincing. So you're like, the stories were freaking true, man. Like he's like,
betrayer.
It is his turn. It's Asmodeus. He looks at you, Aiden, and then he looks down at you, Helene. And I apologize because I have a sneeze coming, and it's going to happen at the least opportune moment. And then I made them with hope. Here we go. Normally they travel in threes.
Bless you, my demon lord.
He looks down at you, Aiden, and he just nods. And then he looks down at you, Helene, and he reaches down and he just pushes one of the red locks of hair to the side. And he says, my child, you have lived up to everything I thought you would do. And although you have grown mighty and you have grown powerful, you must remember there are none so mighty, none so wise as me. You sought to deceive me. None can deceive the Lord of Lies, because he super got a natural 20 on his insight check when you shot that Eldritch Blast. And he says, there's still time for you, child. Allow me to give you just the smallest glimpse of what you could be. And when he says this, behind him, you see a tear open up in reality itself, and you hear flames and screaming. Much worse than you all heard when you were in Avernus. This is somewhere much, much deeper and much, much worse. And you all see a figure step out of it. She is wearing black robes that seem like they are made completely from shadow. And where Helene's red hair hangs across her shoulders, hers is wild and chaotic, floating in the air as if tethered by some unseen force. And there is a long scar across all of her, totally across her face, and her piercing eyes are absolutely filled with hatred. And she looks straight at you, Helene, and she just says, And she opens her mouth like she's about to say something. And you all see in the sky, black globes just start to appear and come crashing down all around you. Each of you give me a dexterity save.
Seven.
7.
6.
6.
25.
25.
25.
25. Helene.
13.
That is not enough for any of you to succeed. These jet black globes of force, of pure antimatter, of anti-life, slam into the ground of Serafall and crack down into the ancient pavement and begin melting it out of the way and melting all of you along with it. Each of you take 71 points of force damage, and all of your magical effects and magical spells cease to function. They're 40-foot spheres centered on each one of you. Like, and you see Asmodeus just sort of turns and looks at her and looks back at you, Helene, and says, you were not my first experiment, and you will not be the last, but as you can see, there is a power that you yourself have yet to realize. And it is Rayonde's turn.
Okay. What is the light situation in the arena that's going on right now?
Hang on, let me just double it, because it was broad daylight before, but let me see if what she's done to you actually gives you darkness. No. So it is broad daylight. You're out in the open.
However, Helene was standing between me and Asmodeus, right?
She was. I'm gonna say, just for the sake of ease, Rayonde and Helene are in one of these globes. Karrin and Kerrin are in one together. Aiden is in one, and Xander is in a separate one.
So
40 feet in diameter, basically centered on you.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So does Helene's shadow fall across me? Am I in Helene's shadow?
Hang on. We'll let fate decide.
I mean, like, professionally.
Yes, you are.
Okay. So I would like to use my shadow step, which is a bonus action, to leap from Helene's shadow into Asmodeus' shadow.
Just for the record, I gave that a 10% chance of working and literally rolled 10%. So fate wanted, because I'm like, it's high noon. The shadow is just kind of right over her, but I'll give it a shot. And so fate wanted this to work, Rayonde. So yes, you are able to do that.
All right. So when I pop out of Asmodeus' shadow, which I'm presuming is in front of him, basically, because of the orientation of people. It'd be nice if I was behind him, but I know that's not how the physics works. But I still do get, because of the surprise element of it, I get advantage on my first melee attack.
Okay.
So I'm going for that, and I'm going for a stunning strike.
All right.
Well, I mean, it'll do damage too, but I'll also use my sneak attack on this. So I have advantage.
Yeah. Technically, you only have to do the stunning strike if you hit him, so yeah.
I got a crit on one of them.
Hey.
I got a crit and a 4.
I mean, that's the way. All
right. So that is, in your game, crits auto hit, right? So I would like to flex though and say that's a 31.
Well, yes. I mean, that is important. Yes, but yes, and yes. That is enough to hit him.
So let's see, 2d10. First, I'll do the regular damage for it, which is so many dice. I'm having trouble finding the correct ones. Here we go.
I know, Xander, it's Xander and then the twins, by the way, just in order of who's on deck.
So we don't double the bonus for crits, right? Just the dice.
Yep, just the dice.
It is 15 points of damage for that, but I do roll a double on the sneak attack dice. Okay. I only have 2 levels in rogue, so it's normally only adds a d6, but this will add another 2d6.
It does.
So that brings it up to 20 points of damage.
Okay.
And it is a magical weapon.
Okay.
And so then now we got to do the stunning strike, which is, I mean, he's going to make this. My DC is not high.
Yeah, what is it?
Maybe I can get him to burn a legendary save or something like that. We'll see.
Maybe. Yeah. What's the save?
Oh God, why can I never find this? Oh Jesus.
It's always something I know.
DC 16.
He does in fact make that.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna try my second attack. This one doesn't have advantage.
Okay.
Bye guys. This is fun. Another fucking crit. Oh my lord. Oh Jesus. Another crit.
Put it on him, man. Here's your opportunity to.
Never so happy to see that Kraken logo. All right. So that is 21 points of damage.
Okay.
On that one. I don't get the sneak attack on this one. So another 21 on him from that. And yeah, let's try another stunning strike. So
all right.
16 save.
Let me double check. He does make that save. Yeah, I will say you notice as you're hitting him with these, he doesn't seem particularly fazed by them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could buy time to distract it, and then my friends can run away to safety.
All true.
This is not really in my lane, this whole died with nobility thing. But if you've got one chance to fight a god, we might as well try it.
That is true.
Okay, so I can't do flurry of blows because my shadow step was my bonus action. So that is it. That is it for me. However, I can use my normal movement, which is 60 is my normal movement. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to go in the opposite direction of everybody else.
Are you going to disengage? Because otherwise he will get an attack of opportunity. And
so I can use cunning action to disengage.
Okay, you can disengage and move away. Cool.
Hold on. Cunning action would use my bonus action, right?
I believe so, yes.
It's not an additional thing. Okay, then it looks like I'm taking the hits then.
Aiden, that is correct, right? Cunning action is still your bonus action, correct?
Yes, it is.
Yep. All right, so you're going to take the hit to get away?
Yeah, I have to.
All right.
This is why I swashbuckle. Fancy footwork.
Yeah.
To disengage and then hide.
Buckle. He critted, and she is going to hit also. So let me start with she hits you with her shadowy staff for 36 force damage. It seems like he was unarmed, but he just motions and a sword is just there and just stabs into you, Rayonde, and feels like it stabs all the way down into your soul, quite frankly, for a fairly significant amount of damage. 84 points of damage.
Okay, I am unconscious.
You all see Rayonde appears and it's like boom, 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 and turns, and he just like, you see, he just goes rigid for a second and drops to the ground. And you see Asmodeus just sort of looks down at him for a second and looks at you, Helene, and says, This is what kept your soul tethered to the prime material plane. Allow me to show you how fleeting their love is. All of you give me wisdom saves.
I mean, I automatically pass by being unconscious.
That is true. It has no effect on you.
Can't control my mind if I'm out.
Yeah, that's true. How much, Helene?
22.
And Karrin and Kerrin?
23.
Aiden?
10.
And Xander?
So I got 14, but I used Indomitable just in case that was a fail, and the second one was a natural 20.
The only one who survives this is Duke Xander.
Oh God.
each of you, now let me just see, who did I say was near who? I said Rayonde and Helene were near each other, the twins were together, and Aiden and Xander were together. Is that what I said before?
I made it 60 feet away before from Asmodeus.
No, you
before.
made it to arm's length before you got. You're basically still
my turn ended before his began. I used my movement.
Attack of opportunity is how he killed you.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yep. So the moment you were like, I'm out, he's like, you are. Yeah, so Rayonde's body is near Asmodeus.
I remember being a bit off by myself was a thing. You said I was in my own one?
Hang on, let's see here.
Yeah, I think the twins were the only ones that were together.
I think everybody else had separate bubbles.
Which makes sense because I probably, swan around on up while I'm doing my deceptioning.
Well, then, you know what? We're going to let fate decide something here.
I hate everything about what is happening.
So, you all feel a mindless rage come up in you, and you must harm someone. You must harm someone you love. So, each of you must expend your reaction to attack one of the others. I was gonna let fate decide, but you know what? I'll let you. I'll let you pick for yourselves who it is that you choose.
That's
to harm.
Worse, Dave.
That's why I did it, because it is worse.
Including me?
You passed, Xander. Yeah, you passed.
The one time that I don't have to kill my loved ones.
It's true. You're like, yay, I got it. But you know what?
That was so last season for you.
I have bad news for you, Xander.
Yeah.
The good news
I also have bad news.
It is a weapon attack. You don't have to expend a spell. But you do have to, those of you that failed, everybody but Xander, you do have to attack. So go ahead and roll it.
What's your AC? I realize it's academic, but I feel compelled to ask.
Also, Xander is going to be flanked because one of the twins is going after him, so you do get your sneak attack.
Yeah. Karrin is going after Xander.
Sorry, Helene had a question. No, Asmodeus has made you attack your friends, but it is a weapon attack. You don't have to cast a spell. You do have to attack, but it is up to you which one of them you attack.
Oh, so we're not rolling anything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you're attacking your friends.
Oh, okay. So then what do we roll?
Just a d20. Who? It depends on who. Are you going after Karrin, Kerrin, Aiden, or Xander?
I'm supposed to go after someone I love. At this point, the only two people that I really love are Rayonde and Asmodeus. So I'm gonna go after Asmodeus.
Okay, you can do that. Yeah, a melee attack. All right. So
well played.
It's true.
Very good.
Valid. It's on brand. What is that, Aiden? What for your attack?
We need to know what Xander's AC is.
Yep. 18.
Cool. I hit you.
I mean, it was a 29. I knew I hit you, but I felt.
I hit you with a 22 for. Oh shit! Max damage 10. I mean, for Xander, me, that's not bad.
I just imagine Asmodeus is like, "Let me show you how fleeting their love is," and Xander's like, "Not mine. I believe it." What?
That being said, Kerrin just rolled a natural 1 in their attempt to attack Aiden. So
there you go. So
I would like to use second chance.
What is that?
When a creature you see hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to force that creature to re-roll. Once you use this ability, you can't use it again.
Want to use that on this?
Well, do you want to use it against Aiden?
If it imposes disadvantage, then I can't sneak attack.
Aiden's it doesn't impose disadvantage. It forces a re-roll. So yes, you're gonna force Aiden to re-roll.
Either I can do that or I can do parry. And I don't know which one is better, to be honest.
I mean, you've seen what your friend is capable of. So tell you're gonna take it, or you're gonna force the reroll.
How many points do you have left?
I got 57.
So for what it's worth, given that your AC is 18, I would have to roll below a 5.
Yeah, I was like, I think the second chance might work on. I only get one reaction though, right? So
correct. Well, one reaction every round, but yes, I mean they've all used theirs now.
Yeah.
What's it going to be, Duke?
I'll take the brunt of it.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the challenge. Does it say if they re-roll, they must use the second roll? Is that the wording?
When a creature you see hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to force that creature to re-roll. So I think, I think it has to be that roll. It doesn't technically say it has to use a second roll, but it says force that creature to re-roll.
Right, because there's always a chance that he could crit on you. So
yeah, I was like, I don't know if that'll be better anyway. So
right.
Oh, I see. You're using the second chance on Aiden's attack, not on.
Yep.
I'm a mosquito bite compared to Aiden.
Right.
Aiden's the one that I'm worried about.
Yeah,
So
you should use it on Aiden's attack.
Are you
gonna? Look, we know
Stabbo.
that I work within a bell curve. I do, and 20th level rogue, like compared to other 20th levels, like our thing is that we're consistent, not that we're super big burst at super high levels.
So, my understanding, you're going to let this attack stand, Xander?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see what happens.
Roll it, Aiden.
Oh, I was rolling while we were arguing, so
damage,
10, 20, 30, 35, plus 9 is 44.
44.
Radiant.
Radiant.
Is it Karrin or Kerrin that's hitting me right now?
It was Karrin, and they hit you for 10.
It's 50. Yes, 54 total. I thought you said you had
54.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, I am hanging on.
Just
by hair.
It's like living on a prayer over there.
And what did you get for your attack, Helene?
This is 16.
That is not enough to hit the Lord of Nessus. As you run forward and like crack your staff against him, you see this other you, whatever she is. She looks at you and she opens her mouth like she's about to say something, but you just hear an odd whispering. Give me a wisdom save, Helene.
$24.
That is not enough. Helene, you feel heat build up inside of you, like you're used to having happen, but your magic gets away from you. Oh, wait, hang on a second. Nope, this still happens. Because I was like, you're still in the anti-magic field, but this does not make you cast a spell. You feel your magic start to erupt inside of you, like you can't control it, and an explosion goes off from Helene. Each of you, including you, Duke Xander, take 26 points of force damage. And you all see Xander like beaten and stabbed and still kind of hanging on in Helene. And he hits the ground near Rayonde. Helene.
How does that affect me as unconscious but in the area? Because it would be something if it takes me below a certain amount, then
you're dead.
It's an automatic failure on a death save, right?
I'm going to give you one failure on the death save because you are point blank in this explosion because you're right in front of Asmodeus and so is she. Okay. So I'll just give you the one save. However, oh no. Actually, Karrin, Kerrin, and Aiden, I need all of you to roll one more attack. His provoke rage ability makes you roll with advantage and +4 to your damage. So technically, you guys already would have dropped Xander. I'm just seeing if one of these is a crit, you might have actually done more to him in advance. Okay.
Not a crit.
Okay.
I rolled less.
Perfect. So technically, with your 3, they should have collectively they should have done 8 more points to you, even when they attacked you. So Xander should not have survived that barrage.
So does that give me one on fail as well for the extra?
Yes, that will give you one failed death save. Helene,
too easy.
You now, Helene, you cannot cast any spells, and you are stunned. You cannot move. You can only speak falteringly. You automatically fail strength and dex saves, and attacks against you have advantage. You all see this shockwave goes off from Helene, and she just sort of like stands there, kind of looking at her hands and trembling. Is this other version just sort of looks at her and goes, it is Karrin and Kerrin. Actually, it would have been Xander's turn now, because all of that technically were legendary actions after Rayonde's, which means Duke Xander, give me a death save. If you roll, it's just a 20, but if you roll a 1, this is it for Xander. I believe you just have to beat 10.
Well, I didn't roll 1, got a 4.
That is 2 strikes. The death save. The life is leaving your body.
Oh God.
Karrin and Kerrin, you are up.
Well, we had a plan, and then that plan did a thing. Karrin is currently collapsed on the ground next to Xander with their arms around him, not having a good time right now. And as they're crying over his body, not able to heal him as they normally would, because our magic apparently doesn't work right now. Does it work?
Well, you all have been around enough. You've had enough adventures. You're aware you're essentially in an anti-magic zone. That's what she's done. She's made 4 anti-magic zones. You'd have to get him out of this to be able to do your magic.
Right. Oh man, I am not strong. Twins are patently not strong.
Also, it is like terribly worded that she can stop you from casting spells and then make your magic just blow up. Like, it doesn't make you cast the spell, it just makes you explode. Yeah, sorry.
Oh man, I honestly am not entirely sure what to do right now. I guess that
phone a friend.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We're gonna pop off to divine intervention, I think, and get Coralon involved, because this has gotten out of control. We need to remove one of these pieces from the from the table, and if we're gonna fight a god, we might as well fight a god with a god.
Like, yo, dog, yo, I heard you like fighting gods.
Yeah, it's like.
I realize divine intervention is not like Wish. You basically like help me and they do a thing. What exactly are they going to ask Coralon's help? What are they asking?
I think that removing a chess piece from the board is probably the smart move here. We have one too many big boys on the playing field, and one of them needs to go away. So I think removing Mirrorverse Helene is probably the play here. Like basically extinguishing her ability to do whatever it is she's doing here, so that we can, focus down on a God Boy. I'm welcome to take suggestions from the class, but that's what I'm thinking is probably the smart choice here.
Tell me, here in this holiest of cities of the elves, this sacred place being actively desecrated by the presence of Asmodeus in this vile creature he has brought with them and the magic they have unleashed here, what do Karrin and Kerrin call out to their god and say?
For the love you bear your children, and for the love your children bear those among us, we seek your protection. We seek your justice. We seek a boon that will even the playing field, that will remove those unnecessary from the board.
When you hear the twins call out like this, a wind whips up all around you, and you see leaves and flowers start to blow through the wind that start to swirl around, and you start to see shadows forming of 6 people that start to appear around you and start to coalesce like they're made out of light. And just when it seems like they're about to become completely real, this shadow duplicate vanishes, and so does Helene. But these 6 outlined figures of light are still standing there.
Does one of them have very bushy, curly hair in their silhouette?
One of them has a mane like a lion in his silhouette. One of them has wings and feet like a hawk. One of them has huge horns. One of them has an outline like a woman's body with the head of a horse. One of them looks almost like cat-like, and one looks like a gigantic bear, just outlined in light. Helene, you're standing there, but everything stops. You hear Karrin and Kerrin's prayers go up, and you feel the air start blowing, and you see the flowers, and you see these beings start to appear. But then everything freezes, and you see this other you. And she's just standing there with her head turned, looking at you. But she doesn't say anything.
What is this? And that scar?
You see, she just like readies herself, like she holds the staff up, like she's ready to attack you again. And you hear a voice, a delightful melodic voice that just seems to echo from everywhere all at once. Helene, you know what she is. She's your anger. She's your hatred. She is you, but she's not all of you. And you see, she stops and looks around too. And you see, she even like motions with her staff, and a bolt of just black energy crackles out and shoots right towards one of the silhouettes. And it disperses for a second, but then just fills back in with this golden light. And you get the distinct impression these 6 beings are looking right at you, Helene.
If okay, she's my anger. She's not all of me. Then what else is there?
She looks back at you again, and she just like snarls and opens her mouth like she's gonna say something again, but no words come out. And she just like motions at you.
I don't really want to kill myself. And to be honest, I'm not entirely certain I could. Where is that voice coming from?
This is not the first time you've been faced with a sacrifice, child. In Helene, you see something. You see a beach covered in flames. You see a ship wrecked. You see Aiden's burned, twisted body laying on the ground. You see Rayonde laying on the ground with a hole burned clear through him, still smoldering with the eldritch power that you command. You see Karrin and Kerrin laying twisted and broken under the wreckage of a ship that's blown up, apparently near them, maybe while they were on board. It's difficult to say, but their still mangled bodies are entangled together in one last embrace. And in front of you, you see Xander standing there, holding his sword, looking at you with bright red light focusing and flashing in his dead eyes. You see a gargantuan red dragon with the same red light in its eyes, looking down at you with a cruel sneer on its face. And you see Asmodeus himself standing in the middle of all of them with a hand extended to you. And a single thought runs through your mind. This is all my fault. And then you're back here with this place, this other you, these figures of light and your friends all around you. Rayonde lying dying again. Xander lying, dying this time. Karrin and Kerrin on their knees and calling to the heavens. And Aiden with a look on his face for the first time you've ever seen actual fear. And in the middle of them, Asmodeus stands smiling again, loving every second of this.
There's I suppose one last thing I have to say to you. I say to myself.
And the staff starts glowing. Like,
I wish to go back to when we were happy, before everything went wrong. And when I do that, I cast Wish and I reach in and give her a hug.
You all, Aiden, Karrin, and Kerrin, and even Rayonde and Xander, as you dangle on the brink of unconsciousness, see this scene of Helene just runs forward and wraps her hands around this other version of herself. And Asmodeus looks at you and says, no, 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 you will not escape me again. I am inevitable. It all comes back to... And you all hear the sounds of the ocean. Shh, shh, shh. Voices oddly familiar. Swab the deck, mate. Ship shape. We'll be in Menton soon. But where is that absent-minded wizard? I know Helene thinks she's special. And Helene, you feel your body return to you, but it's different. It's smaller. It's younger. It's faster. And long red curls hang down to your shoulders. Helene, these thick red curls falling to your shoulder here that seem oddly familiar as you are standing up high in the rigging along the sail of a ship, up near the crow's nest. And as you turn and look, a very young, very pale and skinny Aiden is walking along the edge of the sail, showing off his tremendous balance.
I wave. Aiden?
Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to comment. You have amazing balance. You're gonna have to teach me that later, how you do that. Are you feeling okay by any chance?
Aren't I always? Come on. But please, and I'll do a flip. Keep complimenting me about how great I am.
Aiden, give me a perception check.
What is the magnitude of my bonus, GM?
Oh, yes, you're a baby again. Just tell me what's on the die.
11. Plus proficiency.
Are you okay? You're like, yeah, of course I'm okay. But for a split second there, you realize you're like, something's changed. And you hear a whisper in your ear, Aiden. A whisper that at this time you only heard in the odd times when you were sleeping on occasion. Usually when you were out sleeping under a starry sky, you would feel a presence in here. But this time right in your ear, I told you it wouldn't last, but it was because you could have something better. Be careful this time, boy. This is your last chance.
You know what? Maybe you spotted something in me. I didn't think that you had any kind of foresight stuff, but if you do, you have to tell me now, and we are going to go gambling.
Not that I know of. Why don't you come with me? I'll keep an eye on you. Where's Rayonde?
You look down on the deck. There's the familiar sight of Rayonde and Xander shirtless, hauling some rope up, and you can see off in the distance the outline of a submersible coming to the surface. And you see people running to the side of the ship as they go, off the starboard. It's, oh, hello. Ahoy. Karrin and Kerrin, your white sails mercenary uniforms are crisp and immaculate, of course, even out here in the heat of labor. And you do feel a small flutter in your chest watching Aiden descend so gracefully down from the mast, and Xander shirtless, heaving rope there. But you see a familiar face emerge out of the top of this ramshackle contraption. He is old for a goblin, but he's got brown skin with thick laugh lines around his eyes and long dreadlocks with yellow tips. This is Genolus Fuscus. He's an old friend of yours. And he waves, hello! Oh, royalty! Hello, Karrin and Kerrin.
Enough of that. What did you bring us?
Well, we're still working, you see. The mountain, if you look, Scarterac Isle, it's going to blow again. It's soon. And
is that why you've come to warn us?
Rayonde, there's a commotion as everybody's looking at this unusual sight of this submersible over there. You hear, oh, it was an ill omen bringing the Dragonborn. Hundar's awakening, I tell you. They think it's just a simple volcano, but no, it's the Great Worm. It's the Red Rage himself. He's going to come and rain death on everyone. We shouldn't have brought this one aboard. We shouldn't have.
Now, wait just a minute. I've been working on this ship. And ships in general for my whole life. And I have to tell you, it's not me that's brought any misfortune to them. It's people like you who want to blame everything on whoever's convenient. I saved your life!
Xander, you very much overhear this minor commotion of a couple of the more superstitious soldiers who are... Oh, we've lost a Xander. There it is. He's an AoE stun on Xander. As they look very sheepish, as they simultaneously are deeply superstitious, but have to admit that... Yes, we see you now. We see you. That you fought with distinction. Were you able to hear me there while we lost you? Can you hear me now, D'Artagnan?
What?
Is that a no, D'Artagnan?
What is happening?
I guess I'm going to say you can't hear me. Helene, as you and Aiden reach the deck, you see smoke coming up from this nearby island over there. In Rayonde, give me a wisdom check. Same thing. Just roll the die.
Sorry about that. My thing's freaked out.
Can you hear
I got
me?
a 9 on the die.
I can hear you.
Xander, you overheard some particularly superstitious crewmates saying the reason what the smoke was coming from the island because Hundar, the Red Rage, was awakening, and it was because they brought this red dragonborn aboard the ship. That it was bad luck taking him aboard, and now they'd angered Hundar, who was waking up essentially. And Rayonde, yeah, go ahead.
I slap him with the rope. I was like, "Hey, shut up! That's not true at all. If Hundar's waking up, it's because you two probably talking bad about Red Dragonborn. That's probably what's going on."
Aiden and Helene literally float to the ground right in front of you via her feather fall, as they are wont to do when they're showing off. And Karrin, Kerrin, and Xander all give me wisdom saves. Same thing. Just roll the die. You can roll with advantage, Karrin and Kerrin.
13.
Perfect.
19.
As they land, there is a moment that a near electrical jolt goes through the six of you, like not unlike kind of touching your tongue to the tip of a battery. And on the one hand, this is a completely normal day. You remember waking up too early as always. You remember breakfast. It was terrible. You remember heaving away at work here as you all were putting back into Mintarn for a home rotation. Aiden and Helene, you remember talking about the fact that Helene hadn't written home like she promised. She hasn't written in months. It all happened, and yet you're aware somehow that you were gone for a very long time. But you're here.
How clear do we remember?
It's like a dream. It's you can't put your finger on it. It doesn't make sense, but you feel it in your bones. Something's changed.
Do you feel that?
Feel what?
And Karrin just looks at Xander. Never mind.
Aiden lunges.
Oh no! Go ahead.
Aiden lunges forward very suddenly. Snakes one arm around the twins, one arm around Xander, and put them very close to their foreheads, are all touching, and repeats the words from the night whispers. This is our last chance. Don't screw it up. And I have an arm around Kerrin's waist and an arm around Xander's, and sort of staring across into Karrin's eyes, and I hold them very tight. You can almost feel pressure on the forehead. Then I almost push off of them. As if nothing had happened. Just playing it off.
Did you kill me?
Karrin is like, I don't know.
We're gonna set off. We're gonna try and warn all the white sails vessels we can approaching Mintarn that if that thing blows, who knows what's gonna happen. At least we should be safe under the water. And you see the submersible descends.
Didn't even give us our presents.
All right. We should hoist things.
Right. I start hoisting.
You, you young lady, look like you've seen a ghost. That's you there, the red hair. I've seen you ogling me. If you have something to say, out with it, child.
She's just standing there actually staring at Rayonde, and when he says stop ogling me, you can actually see her eyes move over to him with confusion and slight disgust, and she just looks back at Rayonde and runs up to him and throws her arms around his neck and gives him a very big hug.
Well, yes, Rayonde, how do you react to this?
I really haven't done anything to deserve this, but thank you.
You have, just by being you. And when she says you, she kind of like feels his face a little bit and kind of like is feeling up the scales just a little bit. And is like, it is you. It's
I think Rayonde gets a kind of weird sort of far off look, like he kind of remembers emotions and stuff, but doesn't really have the sort of context of the events that sort of are framing them. And I think he like just starts like crying, basically, like just, there are tears kind of running down out of his dragon eyes, like over her hands while her hands are on his face. And he's just kind of like spooked by the whole thing.
Excuse me, don't let me interrupt your grand whatever this is here. I'm just the captain of the ship, We have to put into Mintarn. And you all see Nikto, your tabaxi captain. Her huge hat and floppy feather waving in the wind there. As again, she has appeared behind you, absolutely silently. She was over there, then she was just here.
How am I supposed to know when to shirk my work if you just show up and I can't try to spot you? It's really unfair in the whole captain-sailor relationship.
That is the essence of the captain-sailor relationship, my boy, she says in her consistently fluctuating accent. That's why I do it.
I mean, Aiden, you could just be like me and be working all the time. And I gestured to all of these perfectly coiled ropes lined up all along the side of the ship.
As always, a model sailor, a model soldier. I don't understand the thing with the bucket. The twins won't explain it to me. I require an explanation at some point, Rayonde. But other than that, you are exemplary. Yes. Helene.
Yeah.
Helene, if you would, please go below deck and check on our guest, Xander, the wizard. She is very important and she is very old, and I do not want a crotchety old wizard having problems on board the Hesperonychus, okay?
Oh, it would be an honor to do that. I will go do that right now, actually. And good to see you.
The moment she says this, and you say that, you turn around with excitement. Oh, yeah. Oh, Xander. Oh, she's here. You have a flash of something, Helene. You're standing on the deck of the Hesperonychus, and you see Mintarn, and it's on fire. There is screaming in terror and chaos. And you see Xander standing there, this tiny withered old woman with bolts of energy extending out from her hands, and they are wrapped around a truly gargantuan red dragon that is struggling to escape them. And you look and you see yourself. You're covered in soot and ash, and you're bleeding from a cut over one of your eyes. You've been knocked down. And you hear, Xander, it's not working. It's not working. And you see the dragon looks right at you and smiles, and fire, and everything goes black. And you're back on the deck of the ship.
Okay, that was really weird. And I look over at Aiden and went, I think we need to go gambling soon. I'm gonna go downstairs, and I'm going to check on our guest and have a little talk with them about something. I think we might be in a bit more trouble than we think we are with that smoke in the distance.
You all, again, are from the Moonshay Isles. You're all quite aware of Skotterok Island. It has long been told that it is where Hundar, the Red Rage, the great red dragon, it is where he sleeps. No one has seen Hundar in years, so much so that it's, again, the superstitious know he's a worm. You can not see him for years. It doesn't mean that he isn't real, but for the most part, the common people have kind of moved on past him. And maybe he's dead. Maybe he left. It's, my grandmother was a little girl the last time anyone saw him. But Scotterock Isle is where the previous great worm of these lands resided, Scotterock himself, who Hundar betrayed and killed in his own ascension. There are elves on Gwyneth that were probably alive when Scotterock died. But for the most part, that's that's a legend in these lands of what happened in times long past. What would you all like to do?
I'm hoisting things.
Model sailor. Mm-hmm.
Helene is definitely headed down to see Xander.
Okay.
I think whatever it is that the twins do is kind of tied to whatever their abilities happen to be right now.
I believe you all were roughly level 6 at this point, if memory serves, 6 or 7. So what would you like to do?
I think what they would probably be trying to do in this case would be to head back up into the crow's nest to act as watch. Their eyes are probably the keenest at this point in the story anyway. At some point, Aiden will surpass them, and they won't be bitter about it. It'll be fine. I think that it's just keep watch, try and see if there's anything in particular up ahead that they need to be concerned about. And I guess if they are having these weird feelings of like something is not quite right here, they might be trying to place exactly what that feeling is. Yeah.
And what is Aiden going to be doing?
Well, after I thoroughly supervise Xander's hoisting and ensure that it's adequate, I'm going to go up and talk to the person at NAV, see if maybe I can charm them into finding out what our plans are about Scotterock Island, whether maybe we could go there. I mean, Helene told me that like something really bad was about to happen, and maybe there was like some big mistake and trouble. So obviously, I would like to run toward it if at all possible.
All right. And Rayonde, what is Rayonde going to be doing?
I think Rayonde is going to go over to Xander and try to talk to him.
Okay.
So he approaches and he's like, Xander, right?
I mean, right? Yes.
We've only been on the ship for a few weeks and we haven't really talked. But just know that I've been watching you, not in a creepy way, of course, but it seems to me that you seem to know a lot about sort of tactics and planning and those sort of things. And
well, yeah, some would say I'm quite a tactician. What would you like to know?
Say that there's some sort of imminent danger coming from that volcano island there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be more tactically sound to go investigate, or would that be a waste of time and we should instead try to make for Minton in all haste?
Well, it would depend on what kind of danger would be coming from that volcano. Are you saying that it's going to erupt, or is there forces there, or like what? You have to give me more of the situation so I can help you.
Xander,
okay. I saw you stand up for me in front of those other members of the crew, so I'm going to tell you something in confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I get a feeling from that island that I can't explain. And it may be possible, because of my heritage, that I have some connection to whatever is going on there. And if that's the case, maybe we could go there and stop, or at least slow down, whatever is happening.
Then, yeah, I think investigating would be perfect. I wouldn't, if it's what you're I'm assuming you're suggesting it's a dragon, right? Like they were saying, Hundar.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, if it hasn't woken up yet, then I think us sailing and investigating would be fine. If it is awake, I don't think us going in a ship straight towards it is probably the wisest decision. We should probably go maybe under the cover of night, or if we could take that submersible that came back a few minutes ago, that would be probably the best way to investigate that.
I've never ridden on the submersible, but I feel like it would be the great event of my life if I ever got that opportunity. So
it looks pretty cool. I mean,
well, how about this? Maybe we can send most of the fleet to Mintarn on ahead and let them know that there is an imminent danger, and then we can go to the island and try to get information, and if necessary, slow down anything that's going on. Maybe find some way to reach out to this dragon and calm it, or failing that, somehow trap it, at least slow it. I mean, I think anything that could, any minutes, precious minutes we could buy from Mintarn would be helpful, right?
Of course. I think we shouldn't send everyone away, though. If we had some kind of force to help us stand against a dragon, that would probably be preferable.
Well, you may have noticed that I arrived aboard the ship with a pair of those elven twins, and I think they'd be very capable if we wanted to try to bring them along.
I think so. They're quite adept at healing, correct?
And yeah. And I mean, and this may seem a bit out of left field, but I think that Helene might be helpful as well. I mean, what if we were to put together some sort of, crack team, like a sort of adventuring party of sorts?
Okay, I like that. Then we would probably need someone sneaky as well. I believe Aiden could probably fill that role.
I don't know about Aiden. It seems like he's always trying to shirk his work duties. I don't know if we'd have the correct chemistry.
Believe me,
I've had trouble relating to him, to be honest.
With the right motivation, Aiden is quite an exemplary worker, or soldier, lover sometimes, depending.
All right.
I've heard stories.
Well, I mean, if you'll vouch for him, I'll trust your judgment. But yeah, we should see if they'd be interested in something like that. I mean, this mission would be at great personal risk.
Yeah, of course. Well, then how about this? You tackle Helene and see if maybe they're down to join us.
Do you think she'd like that? I think that's a bit rough.
Nah, taking me to. I meant as don't tackle Helene.
I mean, who knows?
Just walk slowly towards them and ask them the question if they would like to join us on this adventure. And then I will talk to the twins, and I have a feeling Aiden will always be down for any kind of adventure, misadventure, thievery, really anything, actually. Again, if the price is right, Aiden is always down for it.
All right, well, let's meet back up at 8 bells.
All right. And then I go off to meet the twins.
Helene, as you are making your way across the ship, you see coming from the other direction a small delegation of people who's clearly like their heads are on a swivel looking for Nikto, even though on a certain level you feel like you haven't seen these people in years, yet somehow like their names are still very much jump right into your mind when you look at them. There's a Jaskier Dawn, who was a young brown-skinned human wearing the uniform of a Hell Rider. There is Xander herself. She is impossibly old. She is small and leans heavily on her wooden staff, but she's still smiling brightly, and her bright blue eyes are still lively and crackling with mischief. There is Fallister Fisk, a swarthy, lean, and skinny teenage attendant whose eyes kind of always flit back and forth like a serpent poised to strike. And Silvirus Savakis, a young red-skinned tiefling, clutching a very large book to her chest. And on it, you can make out the multi-winged figure of Zariel. who is sacred to your family. And something about that book calls to you, Helene. Even as you see Xander, when your eyes fall on the book, that's important.
I will walk up to Xander and go, so I was coming down here to check on you and see if you needed anything, of course. And but may I ask what that book is?
You see Jaskier steps in front of her and he's like, excuse me, what is this we're hearing about a detour? Thavius Krieg ordered me to deliver Lady Xander to Elturel immediately. This is intolerable.
Okay, hold on. So we're making a little pit stop. I think we're really going to need your help with this one, Xander.
You see, she puts her hand on his shoulder and she says, just relax now, boy. I promise the companion will still hang over Elturel when we get there, Captain Don. Fallister, would you fetch me some tea, please? This salty air, yeah. Space, Jaskier, space. And she turns and she takes both of your hands in hers, and they are old and leathery, Helene. And she's like, oh, I've wanted to look at you since we first came aboard. You wouldn't know it to look at me, but I was once young and beautiful like you too.
Well, thank you. And Helene actually starts blushing. She goes, you're still very beautiful now.
You wouldn't by chance know any eligible bachelors in my area, would you? I mean, perhaps a grandfather you have there might be keep an old wizard company in these late evenings.
Well, see, that's the thing. I do have a family. Where we're going, I think that well, if you can help me save them from what I just saw in my head might happen, then I would be more than happy to introduce you.
Saw in your head. Oh, dear. And she puts her hands on the side of your head, kind of pushes your eyes open and looks at them. She's like, I can place that accent. You sound like a Norlander. Maybe a little on the countryside, but it's quaint. I like the provincial type. Okay. I heard we're heading towards Mintarn, not terribly far from Norland. What is it that you've seen in your head there, child?
A dragon tried to melt my face after melting everything else. You were doing something. It looked like bolts coming out of your hands. And then someone ran at you and said that something wasn't working. And then that is the part where the dragon tried to melt my face right after that. But that's where we're headed now.
Did it, was it sort of a bluish light? Went out and ensnared the beast and tried to pull it closer to?
Is that what I saw?
That is what you saw.
Yeah, that.
She sort of like looks down and she's like, I had a similar dream of something of a great beast that I had bound. And it's an old spell. You can't really find it much these days, but I always woke up before I found out what happened. When did you see this girl?
Oh, just a few moments ago, right around when the captain sent me to come check on you and make sure you're all right. It just popped into my head.
Thelvira, fetch my spell book. And you see the young tiefling just sort of like curtsy slightly. And she's like, at once, ma'am. And she turns and is going to leave with this book that she's clutching to her chest, Helene. And you feel again, you're like, I need that book.
Can I just ask, Xander, sorry, just what is that book? I feel like a strange pull towards it, and I don't know 100% why that is, but I feel like it's very important for me to know.
Well, this one here. Silvirus says it is a sacred tome of Zariel that may help us destroy the undead attacking Elturel. Her power may be our only hope.
Oh, that's very nice. That is very good.
Are you? I realize that the worship of Zariel has diminished in recent times, but is the wisdom of Our Lady known to you?
Yes, very much so.
And she holds it out to you, and you can see Zariel etched in the cover.
This is really beautiful.
Do you open it?
I do. I open it up.
The moment you open it, you see yourself and your grandfather. You see him helping you escape the night before your ceremony of dedication. You see yourself fleeing into the hills. You see yourself on Norland, looking out over the woods and seeing the fire burning that you would go down and meet Xander and Aiden at, saying goodbye to your two oldest friends on the way out of Norland, having no idea that they were going to take this grand adventure with you. And you see yourself getting on board the boat and meeting Karrin and Kerrin and Rayonde and becoming fast friends, already on the side of the boat, tangled up, sharing sandwiches and drinks and talking about all the wonderful things that you all would see together. And you feel a glow in your heart of true and genuine contentment. But then you see something else. You see this image reversed. You see yourself standing on that same outcropping high over Norland, and a flaming, scorched swath of desolation has been cut across the island as flames have come across and burned everything to cinders. You see your old village. You see grandfather's house, and you see yourself on your knees holding his tattered robe to your chest, crying as everything you have ever known and loved has been burned to ash. And then you're back.
We've got to save them. We have to save them.
Who?
My family. I'm really worried that this is going to end in a lot of fire, and I'm going to lose everyone.
I've seen something similar, as I said. You know, there was a time that my friends and I would have been the equal to any dragon anywhere, but despite my power now, I do not know that I am the equal of Hundar alone.
I could help you. I'm not the best wizard in the world, but I can throw my own pretty strong fire, and I have some friends.
She puts an old hand on her shoulder and she says, if my dream and your vision is correct, then all of our efforts, all of our good work was for naught against the worm. Altering the flow of time and events is difficult work. When you begin pulling at the threads of the tapestry of fate, it is impossible to know what other unseen consequences you will unleash. And she
gotta be for a reason. If you're seeing it and I'm seeing it, there's a reason that we're supposed to know. We're supposed to go in. Maybe it's to get a leg up on the competition. I mean, otherwise we could just leave it alone, but we might not be able to beat it, but maybe, again, like I said, we can at least try to save some people.
You see Sylvirus comes running back with a almost impossibly big spell book that she clutches carefully as pages are sticking out in notes and tags. And she comes running over with it. And she's like, my lady, as requested. And Xander looks at you and she says, I'm very old, child. Older even than I appear. And I should wish that you have the opportunity to become as older than I am. I believe my chapter of this story ends tonight in Minton. But she holds her spell book out to you. But it doesn't mean that yours has to.
Are you giving me this?
I deeply suspect I shan't have much more need for it soon. But, should the dice fall differently and I bring that old worm to his knees, I shall look you up and get it back. It will be a reason to come and visit that handsome grandfather of yours.
Yeah, exactly. May I? And she goes to give her a hug.
She holds on to you with more power than you would think her frail arms could generate. And she whispers in your ear, hold them close, girl. In the end, your friends, your family, those you love, that's all that really matters.
Thank you, and we'll have your back.
A moment. She flips the spell book open, and a piece of paper immediately flies out, and she goes, oh, that's the last known copy of Bigby's Grasping Hand. And you see the tiefling immediately scrambles after trying to get it. She goes, it's not as a shopping list, but I love keeping the girl on her hooves, you know. And she starts writing something. And she says, now, no offense, child, but a great deal of the power contained herein will be far beyond your comprehension for the time being. And she flips it close. And she hands you a piece of paper that is rolled up. And she says, when you are ready to depart, read that aloud. It will take you home.
Thank you.
Oh, and also maybe, don't let on that in a few short hours, this vessel will be a pile of smoking kindling. And she does kind of pinch your cheek a little.
Mum's the word.
Good luck, my fellow wizard.
Likewise. And I bow to her too.
Meanwhile, Karrin and Kerrin, give me a perception check with advantage.
That would be a 25. Sorry. Yes, a 25.
Okay.
No, sorry.
Did you pull up the old sheet, or are you looking at your
Well, this is the thing. I don't know which sheet I need to be looking at right now. I rolled a 13 on my die.
If you've got your 6 or 7, I think y'all were 7. Character sheet, that's fine. If not, it's fine. 13's what you've got on the die.
Yes.
Okay. Karrin and Kerrin, as you all are watching the smoke coming out of Scotterock Island, because it is easily visible. It's not terribly far in the distance by now as the ship is sailing. You do notice it gets thicker and then smaller and then thicker and then smaller. It is more akin to breathing than an eruption. Geology was one of the many subjects your father insisted you all study. And you know what a volcano eruption looks like. You need to know such things when you live for as long as you do in islands. That is not a volcano.
Has Xander made his way to us yet?
I believe you all were going to the crow's nest. Was Xander coming to you all? Was that the plan? Okay, then yes, I would say he very easily kind of ascends by this point.
Something is very wrong here.
What's very wrong? As I come up.
That's not a volcano.
The volcano?
It's not a volcano.
Okay. Then what is it?
That part we're not sure about. We would need to read more books.
Or we could go there. Rayonde and I have decided that more Rayonde than I, but Rayonde has expressed that there may be something evil there, and it would be worth our time to take a look there and see if maybe we could prolong it or maybe defeat it. And I was wondering if either of you or both of you would like to join us on this adventure. We need someone of your capability to, I mean, nobody else knows how to heal like you two do.
Sure. Yeah, we can go. That's fine. Who else is coming?
Currently, so far, it's Rayonde, you two, us. I mean, well, me. Aiden most likely will be down to go, but I'm going to speak to him before we decide fully. And Rayonde is asking Helene, but so far that's about it. Do you know anybody else, or?
That seems perfectly fine by us.
Do you think it's going to be safe? You seem a little worried.
Safe is a relative word at this point. It's not a volcano, but it's still a volcano.
Right. So it's safe. We'll be fine then.
If you're there, it will be.
Exactly. I was hoping you'd say that. I like go ahead. I'm sorry.
Say it's not a volcano. Aiden, is you are sort of slightly delayed getting up close to the navigation station, because every once in a while you are, of course, tormented to have to act like you're a working sailor on board this vessel. As both Aiden and Rayonde, you see Helene running across the deck, carrying this gargantuan tome kind of in your direction, like looking both ways as she's doing so.
Oh, hey, Helene.
Hi.
Listen, this might be a bit forward, but Xander and I are putting together a crack team of adventurers to go investigate the volcano, Skotterock Island, and we were wondering. I mean, not me. I mean, all of us collectively. If you would like to, come along, But I must admit, we're probably going to die, and there'll be great personal peril. But I figure there is a chance for us to gain honor as members of the White Sails and maybe get to know each other better.
I will gladly go on a date with you to check out the volcano, Rayonde.
Oh, that was much easier. What? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, thanks. I mean, I knew that you'd say yes because, we're also impressive, noble warriors and all that. But, really, okay.
I didn't realize it was still possible for you to blush. You got redder.
Oh, no, that's some other dragonborn biological function. I'm never embarrassed. I have incredible discipline.
Yes, I will go with you and the others to go check that out. Also, a group of adventures. This sounds like a thing that we should do all the time.
Can I see Rayonde and Helene from there?
You can see them, but you cannot hear them. Aiden is close enough, but yes. What do you do, Xander?
I would like to slide down the rope ladder, hopefully burning my hands, and yell to Rayonde, "Rayonde, they're in!" And then if I see Aiden as well, Aiden, adventure! As I'm sliding, burning my hand.
I look over to Rayonde real quick. Hey, did you have a plan for how you were gonna get there?
Well, I'm open to suggestions. No, I didn't. Do you have an idea of how to get there?
I'm gonna go lie to a navigator.
Give me persuasion with advantage, Aiden.
We don't. Mm-hmm.
The thing that she handed me, she said will take me home. Does that mean to
you, even though you would not know the spell by this point, you comprehend what she's done. She's given you a scroll of teleportation.
Oh, okay. Cool.
To where? To Norland?
To Norland. Well, what is that, Aiden?
14 on the die, plus being real good at lying.
What exactly are you trying to get this this sweet navigator to do?
Oh, well, hang on. I look over my shoulder, left and then right and then left again. Because someday I'll spot her.
She's never far.
But then I tell the navigator the captain's orders.
Which are?
To go to Scatterrack Isle. At once.
So I had them roll with disadvantage because they're into you. One of them was a natural 20 and the other one was a 9. So as they look, their eyes sort of narrow. And they're like, well, if the captain gets upset about this, you're going to help smooth it over for me, right?
Of course. Is there anyone smoother on this ship than me? I've got you. You know that.
I have to be subtle like though, right? If I just cut hard to stone, she'll be on to us, right? So we gotta ease a little closer to it. You know what I'm saying?
And I scooch, just ease a little closer. Exactly. Pat, pat.
Oh, you'll be the death of me, you will.
Promises, promises, and whoosh, Aiden out.
As the ship turns in that direction and you all are sailing straight towards the island here, kind of trying to look busy, like you're doing your job, but on occasion looking to check. The Nikto, every time she goes to talk to the navigator, Xander sort of intercepts her and starts asking her a ton of questions. Every time she looks and she's like, and they keep talking over there. And as you all are kind of mellowly sort of sliding on your armor and weapons in a way that you probably shouldn't, we're going to be going ashore soon, of course, getting ready. You all sort of realize simultaneously that you're too late. A rumble goes out from the island. You see the shockwave go across the ocean, and when it hits the Hesperonychus, the ship shakes slightly. As you hear, and then a deafening roar, where you can see out of the top of the volcano, a huge clawed hand comes out, and then another huge clawed hand comes out, and it turns and looks at you, this gargantuan dragon whose head is nearly the size of the deck of the ship. And you see Xander looks both ways and everything vanishes around you. And he turns his head towards Mintarn. And his wings unfold and he comes and he still flies straight over the boat. And you see his shadow pass over you as he roars, deafening, driving you down to the deck with the noise and flying away. Battle stations! Battle stations! Mintarn's under attack! We have to go now! What would you all like to do?
To battle stations. Get to them. I would like to go to my battle station, wherever that may be.
As you see your friends about to scatter, both Aiden and Helene, you get a very sickening sense of deja vu that you're about to repeat a mistake again.
It's our last chance. How do we not screw it up?
I don't know.
Foresight, gambling, come on, something. I grab her shoulders, shake.
I don't know if it works like that. I don't know if I can just
make it.
Do I at this low level DM have the ability to use foresight?
You know this ship is supposed to be destroyed in Mintarn, but it doesn't mean that you have to be destroyed in Mintarn too.
Do I feel like using the scroll will help us?
It would take you home and presumably give you a chance to save your family.
Look, Xander gave me this. It's a scroll that's supposed to take me home. I think it's a teleport. I think if we all gather around, I might be able to get us there. We might be able to change something small or big. I would like to try and save my grandfather. Possibly Xander, if we can.
Aiden, you grew up on Norland. That old couple is still out in a cottage in the woods. Xander grew up on Norland too.
Crack that seal. I'll get the others. And whoosh. Aiden actually takes movement seriously. And assemble. Yoinks.
Helene,
Yanks.
as you're reading this and trying to conceive of the incantation here, because she's tried to write it out as step by step as possible, but this is powerful magic that is beyond you. You feel the presence of those 6 beings around you again, and you hear that voice. Would you like help, child?
Who is this that keeps talking to me? Because that will very much depend on my answer at this point.
The amulet that you wear, the sacred symbol of the Celestials that your grandfather gave you, glows warmly against your skin, pleasing and familiar, like a gentle touch. You know who we are. We've always been with you.
Okay, yes, we would like all the help.
And suddenly the scroll makes sense to you. And you open your mouth and you say the words, and you all feel a twisting swirl of like, and you're standing in the middle of Helene's village. Aiden and Xander, you all recognize it. Rayonde, Karrin, and Kerrin. It is a small, quaint cluster of wooden homes. The smell of baking bread is on the wind of laughing children echoing through the air. You can smell fresh fish that has been hung out to get ready to salt and preserve. And Helene, you're home. And standing in front of you all is an unusual woman. She is tall and lithe with powerful wings instead of arms. She's flecks of green speckle her snow-white feathers, and her face is more human than bird-like, but her hair resembles a feathery cowl, and her eyes are a bright gold. Her feet end in talons that have an emerald green luster and look as sharp as diamonds, and numerous small birds flutter around her happily. Helene, you instantly recognize this as Scythia, the Sky Duchess. She's sacred to you and your family.
Thank you. And Helene kind of like gets down on one knee and like hangs her head and like bows to her.
That's not necessary here, child. And she just motions for you to stand up.
How can I repay you?
Oh, you don't have to repay me. We have always watched over you. And you, young heroes. She turns her head and she looks towards Mintarn and she says, a tragedy is about to happen. It must happen. But another tragedy, as she turns and looks out over the people, can be avoided. You six, take them to the far side of the island. Hide them from Hundar when he flies overhead. He will decimate this village out of pettiness, not hostility. If he does not see them, he will not claim their lives. And she turns and looks at you, Aiden. And she takes a step towards you. Do you know what you are, boy?
Armin?
Find out. Listen to that voice inside. Your ignorance of your nature will be your undoing.
Thank you.
And she looks at you, Rayonde. Be careful. In time, you will mean a great deal to her. Help her turn from anger and vengeance. Help her find the calm that you have found.
I will.
And she looks at Xander and Karrin and Kerrin. He's like, You are heroes, and yet you are royalty. Many options lay before you. Choose carefully how you proceed.
Of course. Is there any advice, perhaps, to help us choose?
Don't settle down too quickly. A very, very big world is out there for you all to explore together.
Okay.
And she looks at you, Karrin and Kerrin. She says, I realize that I am not sacred to you, but might I impart a piece of advice?
You may not be who blesses us, but that doesn't diminish the blessings you bestow upon others.
She leans in right in between you, quiet enough where she can whisper where the two of you hear but the others don't. Tell them. Do not wait. And she steps back, and you hear a rumble as alarm klaxons are going off in Mintarn, far in the distance. And she says, there was nothing you could do there. There was nothing anyone could do there. But what you do next, do together. And that is a good place for us to stop.
Thank you, Dave.
Oh, it was the feels.
I know we don't have a lot of time, so I will just say very quickly, thank you to all of you for watching. Thank you for you all for being a part of this story. Obviously, thank you to Tess. This was an adventure we set in motion in 2018. And I believe you're seeing this on the 18th, which makes it my birthday. So that's how I'm celebrating, by seeing my sweet babies off. So that is it for me. And I'm going to give the last of this to you guys to say your goodbyes, starting with you, Aki.
But why? I'm crying. Hi, everybody. I was Karrin and Kerrin, your wood elf clerics. Sailing off into the sunset.
I'll take the next hour thanking you all. So I'll just give you the one thank you. Thank you. Aiden.
Sam Leve, I have been and will be your Aasimar rogue, your fallen angel, your Aiden.
Alcuin.
I'm Alcuin Gersh, and I've been playing Rayonde, the Dragonborn. And I mean, I got to play them both as a ninja and a samurai. So thank you, Dave, for that. So that's awesome. 2 things off of my bucket list right there. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Like, we really appreciate it. And a lot of the feedback we've gotten from you in the chat and the community has been has made this great story even better. So thank you.
Absolutely. D'Artagnan.
Hello, I'm D'Artagnan Mattaliano, and I played Xander, the Duke, the young boy, the DX, all the fun thing. Oh my god! Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Dave, for my goodness, all the feels. I'm so very lucky to be included in this entire journey, this story. I'm very sad to see it end, but I'm excited. Anyway, I'm gonna go and cry now.
And last but not least, I'm so very glad the wig made its return. The Red Wizard Helene.
Hi there, I'm Mayleigh Damage, playing a couple different versions of Helene. I am, well, thank you, Dave, for doing this and for giving me the opportunity to play a really awesome character that you and Tess created. And I love this group and I love playing with you, and I'm going to miss it so very much. Thank all of you for tuning in and watching. And who knows, maybe when the apocalypse is over and conventions start back up again, the wig might make it to like a future Comic-Con, and then everybody can come feel how heavy this thing is.
And as always, thank you to Q Times. Thank you for Wizards of the Coast. And again, thank you. Shout out to my homie, Tess Fowler. And until next time, bye-bye.